Hey everybody, this is David Minster, G4 Guitar Schools, and in this series of lessons we're going to be taking a look at the minor pentatonic scale. There are 5 shapes or 5 patterns in the minor pentatonic scale that, if we know all 5, will link the fretboard together. And by practicing them and getting them together, we're able to move from one part of the guitar to the next part of the guitar and see it as almost one continuous scale. Okay, so we're going to look at the 5 patterns individually. We'll look at them from the point of view of being in the key of A minor, and let's get started. So now let's take a look at pentatonic shape number 3, minor pentatonic shape number 3, and we're starting here on the 10th fret of the low E string. And again, we're going to look at the pattern first with our fingering, and then we'll discuss the root notes of A that we find within that pattern afterwards. Okay, so we start here with our 2nd finger on the 10th fret of the low E string. Okay, and again, you're going to see 2 notes per string, which is our pentatonic scale characteristic. So from finger 2, we come up to the 12th fret with finger 4. Crossing over to string number 5, we have our 2nd finger again on the 10th fret, little finger number 4 up to the 12th fret. Crossing over again to the 10th fret on string number 4, 2nd finger up to the 12th fret on the 4th string with a little finger. Okay, so all these notes so far have been on frets 10 and 12. So we have 2nd finger, 2nd finger again, next string, 4th finger, next string is the same, 2nd finger, 4th finger. Okay, crossing over to the 3rd string, we have a change. The 1st finger comes down and plays here on the 9th fret of the 3rd string. Okay, following that up, we have our little finger on the 12th fret. Okay. We then cross over to the 2nd string, where our 1st finger comes up to the 10th fret. On the 2nd string, our little finger then moves up to the 13th fret on the 2nd string. Okay, crossing over to string number 1. Okay, I then have a little, as I've shifted position here, my 1st finger then comes to the 10th fret on the 1st string, and 3rd finger finishes up there on the 12th fret of the high E string. Okay, let's go through that slowly again. Starting down here, 10th fret on the low E string with our 2nd finger. We played 2nd finger up to our 4th finger on the 12th fret. Crossing over, we do the same pattern, 10th fret, 12th fret. Crossing over again, 10th fret, 12th fret. Crossing to the 3rd string, we have our 1st finger on the 9th fret of the 3rd string, little finger, 12th fret of the 3rd string. We then have a little position shift. Our 1st finger comes up to the 10th fret on the 2nd string. Our little finger comes up to the 13th fret on the 2nd string. Crossing over to the 1st string, my 1st finger is now in the right position to play the 10th fret on the 1st string, followed by our 3rd finger on the 12th fret of the E string. That's our shape altogether. So inside this scale shape, okay, the root notes are going to be found here. There's an A note here, which is on the 12th fret of the A string, which is the octave from our open A string to there. And then we come over to the 10th fret of the 2nd string. There's our other A notes. So in this scale shape, those are our 2 A notes. Okay, and again, as we said in our lessons, we're going to look at learning the scale shape and also playing to and from the scale shape using the root notes, so we can clearly hear that it's the A minor pentatonic scale, and that's shape number 3.